Welcome, welcome everybody. I'm still trying to figure out why are we talking about Mean Girls? What did we miss?
Sharif was saying that he didn't have too much interest in Hollywood, and then someone had said, what about Sydney Sweeney? And then Sydney Sweeney went on to some new movie releases. Come on, Neil, get with it over here.
Yeah, my bad.
You know, and then we went back to Mean Girls, which was filmed about 5 minutes. I was actually at the school Mean Girls was filmed at last night. I was there. So funny that this happened because we're just talking about it. Like, what a small world that is, actually. So shout out to Etobicoke Collegiate. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. And it's funny because we'll talk about this. I actually looked it up. I've only traded one symbol today, and it's Rivian. And look where Rivian is right now, up 9% and near the highs. And I actually was showing this, and you know, this is what we just did here. Rivian, and then we got reserved. So we're gonna make a play on a Rivian R2 here, and you know, today's R2 brought to you by Rivian, the stock itself. Right there. Oh, it's oh shoot. Yeah. Oh, here, I'll just open it up again in a new tab. It's just the reserve page. Oh, nice. Oh. Yeah, it's nothing. It's just it's a 5-seater. It's supposed to be really good. We'll see. We got it reserved, so we put in a reservation for this, so the wife may get a Rivian after all. Right there. Yeah. What's up, guys? And then not only that, Pathik, man, we also reloaded this right there, so we got it right off the jump. This is we put 1850 down on the sticky note. It hit early. That was a good trade there, and then we actually reloaded it again just to watch it get there back to the upside. Unfortunately, I wasn't sitting here when this happened, 1935, but we went and got a coffee. Now we're back and got some more outs there. So what I was saying is that I've made only one symbol today, and I think that might be a record for me up to this point. We'll look to make a little bit more as we continue to go on. But yeah, not bad. We had those Italian meatballs there for lunch. They were pretty good, but
they're pretty good.
You know, could always
garlicky, but
yeah, could always do better. I don't like the strong red sauce or anything.
It was a lot of sauce, and the sauce was very garlicky. It was tasty, but they might have overdone it a little bit here. What did I just hear about Nvidia? You know what's crazy? It's like, I don't know. We've had discussions before, and I understand people's viewpoints about stop orders, whether they like them, whether they don't like them, where you might want to use them, where you might not want to use them. I personally think it's kind of it's the time that you do have one and it matters. Like, here's the way I would look at it. I would rather have a bunch of bad stop outs to avoid like the worst happening. I'm sure we'll talk about the weed stuff because there was a couple of headlines there as well. But I'd rather, you know, be able to deal with, okay, fine, that's a bad stop out. I got to jump back in because it wicked me out. Using a stop order gets you out at the low, and then you have to re-enter the trade, as opposed to when that news hit. Because I was sitting in a VWAP long, and CGC was at the high of the day. And I'm sitting literally, and I still have like 75% of the position on, looking for the break of the high of the day, just kind of cruising. It's like, oh yeah, it's going. It's going to break. We're going to get 50s. And then the next thing you know, it hits the stop, you get out. But imagine a scenario where you don't have a stop there, where you're like, oh, I'm going to be the person that reacts to that. Instead of getting out at 24 on a 25 break, you could be getting out at 15, which is silly. Well, I mean, whatever, to each their own. It doesn't really matter. But I think we have this discussion over and over again. I would rather have some stop outs where you got to jump back in than the nuclear option, which is getting smoked.
Yeah, we have lots of examples like that.
I mean, it's an obvious one. It was literally at the high of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're
not concerned about it.
Yeah, this is what we try to teach every day, man, is risk management, right? And I don't know, sometimes we get people in there that say like they don't use stop orders, and I don't know. So to your point, I don't know why or who those people are, but I mean, you should definitely. No, I don't understand that. I still don't understand. Like, if people are in the chat, I don't understand the point of no stop orders.
Well, I would think if you're in the pre-market and maybe you don't have access to them.
Yeah.
I understand not every broker does. I will say this, here at Real Trading, you can use stop orders in the pre-market. Anyone that trades with Real Trading, just understand not all of them. We have a various number of stop orders you can use. Not all of them work in the pre-market. Some do, some don't, but you do have access to them here. And I think one of the, it's happened to me before where like you use 2 or 3 and then I'll just instinctively throw out one. It's like 920 something, and for whatever, maybe you got in position before, I'll instinctively throw one out that doesn't work in the pre-market by accident. and then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right, can't use that. But you should have some kind of a risk plan. Anyways, I like them I like to have stop orders.
Yeah,
Make
for
sure I'm in
sure.
the right chat here. Oh, that's what I always forget to do.
Yeah, you got to get in that right chat.
Make sure I'm in here. What Mike's saying I sound like I'm speaking at the end of a long hallway. What does that even?
Echo maybe. Is there an echo with Neil here? Yeah, no.
You should see my mic setup, what Fabian just did.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You guys can't see it.
With that. Yeah, no, I was going to say, like, there was someone in the chat there that said, you know, when I mentioned there that, you know, I'd only traded one symbol, and they were like, you know, I kept saying traders got to trade and everything, and then I responded like, you know, you got to wait for the right setups when that happens. Then you showed that CGC trade. So I was just going to say, and I already know the answer to this, but how many symbols have you traded today?
I don't know, 7 or 8 probably.
Yeah, exactly. So there's lots of opportunities here. One for me, 7 or 8 for him. I mean, it's just a matter of what you guys see as opportunities, right?
Well, here's the thing. If you trade setups, like there's some stocks I will trade more than once. Like Intel's an example. Like I'll trade Intel more than once. We got a bunch here. CGC was part of the plan. I'll trade that more than once. But I have like BM&R, effectively one trade that I just, hey, where's my trend line? Just I didn't hit save. I just gotta get this up for myself. Like this one was, oh, I'm in it, but I'm gonna add to the position. It's effectively one trade where I was sort of averaging up as it was going on the trend. But like there's gonna be other ones where it's gonna be like a one and done. Like I'll wait all day long for one setup in DJT. Wait all day long. 1, 2, 3. You always hear me say 3 contacts, trend line break. Someone's like, yeah, short DJT at the top. I'm like, nah, I'm going to short the trend line break. That's my play. Third out here, look for VWAP. But that's like a one shot. And then I don't even look at DJT again because I don't think it's going to do the same setup again. But it's whatever works for you. You know what's hilarious? I saw somebody today talking about the how there was an IPO today. It's like, oh, the IPO. Okay, let me preface that. There was an IPO today. It's nothing like.
Get me excited over
It's nothing like the one size from yesterday. What was it? It's FJET, right? And someone said, it blows it out of the water, the IPO from yesterday. And all I will say is this. Could you have made a lot of money trading FJET? Probably, but there isn't a comparison between this and what happened in Medline. Like this opened up, instantly halted down. So if you take the opening print, you just immediately rinse. It opens up, so it halts down at like.
Oh, that's the open right there. Yeah, so you're screwed right away.
And then it opens up for like $3 lower. So if you sit it out, like I'm not paying attention to it, and then maybe you just take a halt there, that's a very different trade. So for us, there's no chance this could, like I would never have been profitable on this because once it opens up downside, I don't know if I'm getting involved in this candle or chasing it up there. It's just very different, probably much more difficult to scale on FJET. So it's like, yeah, there was an IPO today. This is not one I would have touched with a 10-foot pole. But if you have a strategy that works for that, I don't know, maybe just take the first up halt. Maybe that's your jam. You certainly would have worked out pretty well. But man, you got rinsed on this in a big way if you took the opening print.
Yeah, no, not a good one. And, you know, yeah, the major difference is we had no idea that this was happening. And yesterday it was on our watch list and it was on the sticky note and it was on all of our notes. So I think that's a big one. I don't even know what this one is. Got it, exactly. All right, a lot of people saying the executive order that was signed obviously related to CBD in the marijuana space. We had a couple different halts. We had YCBD halt. We had CGC. We had TLRY. We had MSOS with multiple halts as well. I get a feeling that it might be on the board. So we're going to go over to Sharif. We'll talk about all these plays. If you are waiting for more marijuana talk, it'll happen as we go. So just keep on going right now. Trump in my ear looking to declare national emergency on housing. Okay, I don't know what that means. We can check out LUNR or B.H. Horton or something like that. But all right, you saw Sharif waving. Is he ready now? He is ready now.
That's awesome. I like that. Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are locked and loaded, and there's Sia And we are ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the afternoon rundown, you got to get into the chat at any point in the day before right now and vote for your favorite tickers. You guys can see Tesla leading the way there on the board. TSLA up big today. We'll get to that one in a second. But Fabian, we want to look at all 4 major averages, and they're all green, much unlike yesterday when they were all red. 1.6 here for the NQ leading the way to the high side, trying to break back above 25.4. There seems to be a lot of resistance at 25,400. Separately, the ES also getting back above 6,800, but below that 6,850. It's up 0.89. The Dow not faring nearly as well as all other 4 major averages, 3 major averages, excuse me. It's up 0.29, and then the Russell, the small cap heavy, nicely above 2,500 and up 0.9% on the day. The first ticker, though, as decided by you guys, TSLA, and there's no specific headline today on Tesla, but this one sold off aggressively after making all-time highs the day prior. Nice bounce back up today, guys, as it accumulates into 500.
Yeah, it's
Wow, 490.
that's a pretty wide accumulation if we're gonna call it. Because usually accumulation is like, yeah, we're just going sideways at a support level. Well, if it ends up accumulating in this kind of a range, then buckle up, everybody, because like Tesla went 15 bucks, and that's not even the full move from yesterday. Ultimately, almost the entirety of the move to get back to 490 today. So it's as weird as it seems. Like Tesla is, I guess, in a new upper range band, which is very, very wide, which probably requires a ton of patience, I'm going to think. Like 470-ish to the bottom and 490 to the top. And maybe Tesla's the kind of thing now where you just have to wait till it decides not to trade at either one of those levels. It's all systems go on the breakout, and technically it looks way better on the daily than the choppy mess the last couple of days. On the daily chart, this just looks like, hey, you broke a fresh high, you pulled back into prior highs, and now you're holding this consolidation. So yeah, it's absolutely holding a top-end consolidation. It's just a very wide range to trade. I don't know. I didn't have anything terribly clear on it today, so I stayed away from Tesla. It oddly enough did give you the short off the 80 to 82 area a couple times, and then it broke away from that level. So if you're ignoring those tops and bottoms, there's at least some kind of pivot off the 80 level you can be playing into. Maybe we see that this afternoon.
Yeah, I think you could get a run to 500 again here, to be honest with you guys. It's too bad because you guys know that I'm all about the 200 period moving average. So if you come over here to the charts, you'll see right there that it did hit early at 474. So are you grinding up those eggs back there, Sharif? All I heard was just like grind. Ramin, I'm not done yet over here. Ramin, all I heard was grinding. I didn't even look backwards. Well, just 6 eggs. Okay.
6 eggs.
Neil, you know that I have 12 eggs every morning, so 6 is half. I mean, I don't know why you're getting so surprised. But
So wait a second, is that 12 plus 6?
So you've had 18 eggs today?
I don't eat all the yolks. So we're only going to have 2 or 3 yolks here, Katina,
Well,
man, out of the 6. In the morning, I also have 2 or 3 out of the 12, so it's not even that bad.
You don't get those tree trunks without.
So you've had 18 eggs. Okay, so
They're not
all right.
counting the sausages that are all in there.
I don't count those as sausages anyways, Ramin. Those are like boiled hot dog things that I'm not even sure Sharif should be eating, to be honest with you. All right, 487 right now for Tesla. But okay, honestly, so you're having too much fun. I was sitting here like this, and all of a sudden I heard crack, 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 and I'm like, I know this dude is rolling those eggs.
18 eggs?
I saw him do it. 18 eggs. 18? You know what? It's too bad that we didn't do like a Christmas exchange thing, because I just got this guy a chicken coop. You know, one that he can put on his condo outside on his balcony. You know, have some chickens there.
My sister-in-law, they got chickens.
Yeah.
Why not, Sharif?
Yeah, exactly. Marissa wanted some for our house over here.
You guys, you do it.
Yeah. I think no, it's not legal in our neighborhood. We thought it was. The guy across the street put a chicken coop in. No, I know. The guy across the street put one in, and I talked to the guy. He got bylawed. Yeah, someone came over.
Someone ratted on him?
Well, ratted on him.
What are you going to do? With
chickens are like
chickens are
walking around the neighborhood, man. And no, they're in the coop, of course. Okay. Hi, I'm Sean. I get very distracted. All right, so Tesla. What about it again? Yeah, so I really like this 200 period moving average. The problem is it wasn't on the radar yesterday, honestly, and I had said this 480 marker could have been a good blowout top there. It does happen right away. I don't think you ever take Tesla off the very first move any day. It can definitely do this little rinse action, which it did wind up doing. I feel like once it's settled and we kind of knew that the movement was going to be up and the market was going to hold today, you probably could have played it off VWAP. And so that to me would be the next sort of level that you would play off right now here, volume weighted average price. My only thing is now is the futures, right? And you're coming back in. I don't mind it if you're trading in between the 50 and VWAP, but right now it looks like you're trying to head a little bit lower. So I don't think the futures, if they do break VWAP and start to trend a little lower, I think traders would like to look at this low again. So that probably means Tesla does wind up breaking. Yeah, you do put that on there, Ram, a little undercover there. I see what you're doing. Okay, but anyways, oh man, there we go, there we go. But Tesla on the downside anyways, keeps it going. I don't know if Rivian's gonna be on there, but we're basically in, and this is for you. I think it was Jam or someone in the chat there said, Sean, ring the Dollar Club register there, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, all about that, but we got it there on Rivian, so it went up to 40s. We took a little bit out, 4 cents short there on Rivian, and I really enjoy trading Rivian today, man. They had that upgrade, so I'm gonna see if it's on the board. I'm not sure if it is or not. Yeah, there they are, Ram. Those are the eggs right there. Okay, sure, yeah, there. Yep, there they go. All right, over to the desk, and we'll talk about topic 2. Maybe it's like Smithfields or something, some sort of an
I haven't cheated today.
Egg company. Oh yeah, it's gonna be DJT or Micron, it looks like. All right, over to Sharif.
I like Ram on the ones and twos. She's causing all sorts of havoc over here. Shout out to Ram. I saw the fart quotes there in the chat, guys. There's no farts over here. You can ask the boys. No bad smells over here.
I was wondering what that was.
Get out of here, Sean. DJT up almost 39%, guys, after this new tie-up here with TAE Technologies. It's a $6 billion all-stock deal. Shares are up big. I was trading this one the entire midday show. TA plans utility-scale fusion within a year, backed by $2 billion in funding and 20 years of experience. They know. Analyst says the deal aligns with U.S. energy ambitions amid the AI growth and China's competition, guys. So DJT up nicely here, trying to take out 15 bucks.
Yeah, hey, look, it's certainly doing better than I would have expected. The thing about this combination, the CAE is a private company, so it's not like up and just go, okay, so you get 50% of DJT, you get 50% of this. Let's figure out some kind of a reasonable fair value, use some historical prices, and bada bing, bada boom, like figure something out. You can't really do that unless you're really familiar with TE in a private market. But overall, there's the squeeze aspect to this. Fusion has a tremendous amount of upside, and there is actual progress being made in the sector for sure. So there's a there. I just don't know how you would properly value this, not to be ringing some of the register here. So you know, if it was me, and DJT did the old, let's do the SPAC bounce off 10 and basically fill in the gap because at a double bottom at 15, well, that's what it's giving you today. So without really having to, I guess, roll too deep in this, I wish I'd gone in this off at the $10 level. I almost feel like anything that was a post or previous SPAC that has hype behind it or a big short float or just has some of that oomph to it, it's worth it. If it bases off that $10 level, I know, Webull was kind of the same thing the first time, and DJT managed to give it to you twice off of this $10 level, go all the way back to September 2024. You just kind of take the shot, gives you good risk to reward usually. I think that's what's going on here with DJT. Let this settle down for a couple of days because this stock clearly has a tendency to get some news and pull back on you. But yeah, move to that 15. I already took the reversion shot on it. I don't really see another opportunity unless it has to go parabolic or set something up very, very clean for a trend break, and it hasn't gone parabolic today at any point. It's actually been relatively controlled on DJT, which I'm surprised. I'm used to seeing at some point some kind of insanity spike, and then you start to see the back end. That hasn't really happened. It's been very controlled and very orderly to the upside.
I was going to say, first of all, right now, unorderly or not, we just got Rivian up there at 1947. So that is really, really starting to go here. The only trade I have on here today. Look, I don't know. Someone in the chat said that a couple days ago I was mentioning DJT because I was at $10. And I was just mentioning that it has bounced off $10, and it used to be a SPAC. So SPACs always start off at 10. And this one was DWAC, DWAC, which was probably the most exciting time in the show's history. If we ever find that video, you can see it. Again, maybe we can find that. I know Ramin's busy today, but there's videos of that. It's on Twitter. I can go find it too. But it was $10. And I was just, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll tell you after. It was this little spot right here breaking above $10 that, you know, I don't know, bouncing spot up to 1174. Obviously, when you make calls like that, you have absolutely no idea that something like this is about to happen. But there it goes, right? And sometimes if you do a little bit of research and you find out that maybe $10, there could be some potential buyers there or a floor there or something. Now, we've seen a lot of SPACs break way through 10, and that's that, right? Once it breaks through, you want to get rid of it. So you had a great opportunity there on DJT. It didn't break 10 at all. So if that was your strategy, you know, it worked amazingly right there, and it may be that trade again. So there you go, man. DJT off $10. I would just say if you're long this name, potentially get some out now, but at the end of the world, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world if you let this thing run a little bit higher and then use 10 as your stop just to see what can go, right? Because
I want that sticker.
Okay, we got to go to Neil immediately for an ad read.
Immediately? Yeah, you know why, Sean? Because I was just finding something crazy when I was digging into exchanges. I stumbled across BTCC, top 30 globally, and they've never, ever, ever been hacked. It's true, Sharif. While other exchanges keep getting wrecked, BTCC stays untouched. Zero KYC if you're in the US, Canada, or Europe, and through Trader TV, you can grab a 100 USDT coupon for registering and a 15% bonus that covers losses up to 15K USDT. So, what are we missing here? I don't know, not much. Scan that QR code out in front if you want more information, and thank you to BTCC. And I also want to thank the generosity of, I'm going to say this out loud just to make sure that this happens, the generosity of Ramin. Team Ram has said, I have a Snickers for you. You know? So there's apparently a Snickers.
In the fridge.
I have
it's all
I like
over
food.
Ram.
Oh, okay. So you've seen it, and she's offered, and she's so kind, she said you can have the Snickers. So I'm saying it out loud just to make sure I get it. So if I don't get a Snickers,
I love how when Neil tries to act sweet, he always goes into a new voice. He goes like, yeah, so, you know. It's like when you talk about your daughter, you're like, yeah, so Team Ram, my daughter. It's really nice, Neil. I like that.
It's, you know what? It's entirely natural. Except
I really like it.
And I tell my daughter this all the time. She's like, when I'm speaking to her nicely, sometimes you have to, you know, kids will be kids. And I'll be speaking to her nicely. She's like, Daddy, you're being mean. Oh, because I'm telling you something that you don't want to hear, but I'm speaking nicely. I go, you will always know if I'm actually upset or something is really serious. I go, that's the thing. Like, to me, it's an important part of communication at the end of the day. Although I will say this, my pops, he was a very one tone. Like, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was scary. Sometimes you couldn't tell. But you'd have to look in the eyes, you have the same tone if he was happy or if you were in like deep trouble. You just had to be able to read it. And then once you realized it, it's like, okay, shoot, he sounds like he's being normal, but no, he's being dead serious here. Don't play around. Mom's on the other hand, different story. No, you knew from the first word out of her mouth whether you were in deep you know what, or it was just a small deal. Easy. Sometimes she wouldn't even have to say anything. It was like, you walk in the room, it's like, oh, don't mess around with a West Indian parent.
Yeah, my wife is the boss in my house. It's like, can we have French fries? Mother, no. I go, here's my credit card. So it's really bad. I got to get better at that. Okay, back over to the desk, Sia and Sharif.
Guys, on some comments that President Trump was giving moments ago. He said Fed chair announcement will be made over the next couple of weeks. Couple of weeks, you know, to means two, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, speaking about Ukraine, saying, quote, they're getting close to something, but I hope Ukraine moves quickly. Also saying that Congress would, he doesn't mind telling Congress about any possible attack on Venezuela. He says also there's really no issue with that. So any more comments? I think he's done speaking now. I'll keep my eye out on those and report them back to you. Micron, the next though, ticker on the board, up 12 1/3. What a fantastic report it was for Micron, beating easily on both the top and bottom line, guys, and that ridiculous guide where they were guiding EPS for the next quarter 75% higher than the street's expectations, guys. Micron, 263.65 high, dropping down into the low 50s now.
Stapleton right here. Sean followed you on that Rivian a little late, but hey man, a little late. Props to you for doing that. And then this is the more important thing. Just joined last week, so first time message. So there you go, man. Free trades given to you every single day right there. And today, I hope that, you know, the fact that I've made just this name twice and as we continue to go higher there, you know, it's on the note, it's on the sticky note. You guys just keep supporting us. Thank you so much every single day for that. It's great to hear that others are having success following and sort of copying some of the ideas in the trades that we have. So thank you so much, Gregory.
Yeah, I don't have good things to say about Micron, terribly. Ultimately, I think SanDisk was something that I thought would be a trade today on this. It was an absolute blowout. But like everything about that report, it wasn't just that they were beating. They beat significantly. The guide was a significant beat on the guide. So you can't really point to anything as, okay, well, there was slight beats and yada, yada, yada. No, it was all fantastic, but it was unable to break the highs today. So without that, like to me, I still think you are in the back stages of a potential top here in the memory names. I just also think that Micron is probably the best one, and I'm still seeing the way this manifests with SanDisk. I looked at this one today and was like, okay, well, Micron has a chance to break this out. SanDisk, if it even gets to this lower high, you know which one's weaker. The chart's telling you it's weaker. The pullback from the high is telling you it's weaker. The performance on the earnings is telling you that this one is weaker. So I still think this is the one that's going to be the next fade. Just want to give it the old 3-day rule because maybe Micron breaks out tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe Micron breaks out after we give it a couple of days to digest these earnings, and you don't want to be too early trying to look for the sympathy short here in SanDisk. But I think this is where the short is going to be a little bit better over in SNDK. It didn't happen today. What are you going to do? Micron never broke out the high. Despite the market doing what it did, Micron just couldn't give that push, which meant no trade for me on SanDisk. But it'll happen. I think the turn is coming again on at least this name.
Yeah, so, you know, when Micron was up here, I sort of was thinking that it was going to fall down. We made that call. We made it again the other day. And then yesterday, when people were asking me about earnings, I had mentioned that actually the setup on earnings was half decent to get a bounce off the 50 period again, because we got it the last time right there. And as long as the report was good, which we knew it was going to be good, I mean, everybody in the quarter, my kid was even telling me what a good move it was that we bought RAM a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, if he understands that, then I'm sure that the demand was going to be there for RAM. We know that prices have been through the roof. So if you just come back here to the chart, 260, I already called it this morning before this even happened, that if you get up here, that's a good sell spot. My guy, I think it was Machiavelli or somebody else there in the chat, made 10 grand off of that call. So that was great. I mean, congratulations to all of you that actually put something like that on. That was a big, big call, whoever did that this morning. So good move all the way down. It gets down to $246. It has made a nice little move back end upside. The good thing about all of this, and this is what I always say whenever you get a movement like this, is that now if you like the short, there's just such a clear out, right? That 265 top is your clear out. So I think this is one of those plays where I've already said, I talked about the smartest one in the room, Dara, who's not here right now, made that call on Oracle. And the thing is like, even if on Oracle, if you do think something's fishy right there, right, a couple days, I mean, she made it a couple days after earnings, which is right into here. So if you make that call on Oracle and then, you know, you wait maybe for it to bounce back up, similarly to like what Micron's been doing, if you get in right there, then your out can be up here. So it's just like this gives you 330 short out at 345. That gives you $15. And the downside, although you can never predict how far down we're going to go, but even if you just get into the 50-period moving average, that was $50. So that already is 3-1. And then now we can see where we are right now on Oracle. So yeah, just be careful with your Micron. I mean, I think if you're going to be short, you do now have an area to look at, and thank earnings for that, right? I mean, that's why we wait for earnings to make calls on different stocks, because now they get some levels and you get a little bit of level of concern over there. I still don't know why. So in my other pool, I've won, you know, if you have Josh Allen in a pool, it's like a cheat.
Doesn't hurt.
So I have Josh Allen in our other pool, and I won, I know, a couple years ago, and I've been second last year. I'm second this year, but we'll have to see if we can call that out. And he got me this little squish thing for Josh Allen. So we want to say shout out to the Buffalo Bills, and it should be another good weekend. I don't know who they're playing. He only has one eye in this, though. It looks like it's come off here in all this time. So hopefully he has both eyes open.
Peeling.
Yeah, hopefully he has both eyes open this weekend. Shout out to everybody who's watching NFL, man. It is basically playoffs, no matter what fantasy you're in.
And the good news is, if you're in the NFL, if you're in your fantasy playoffs, you probably don't have to worry about the fact that you lost Tua for the rest of the season, because if you have Tua, there's no way
you're not even in the fantasy
you're not
playoffs.
in there, so you're good to go.
Or he's like your QB 4 or 5. Who plays tonight? I have to set my lineup.
Oh no, tonight's a huge game.
What is
Seattle and the Rams. Monster. Well, not for fantasy, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have anybody, but
Seattle versus the Rams is a big one.
I have Darno, but I'm not
tonight. I'm gonna get destroyed in the semifinals.
Oh, the Bills are playing the Browns.
I lost my QB2 was Mahomes. I lost him. Neal was my RB3. The guy in New Orleans, he's out. Burden was breaking out, and he was my running back. I'd already lost Kraft. So I actually don't have a choice. I have to start one of the Seattle backs tonight. I don't even want it. I don't have a choice. I got to start Walker or Charbonnet, because I don't have enough healthy bodies to not do it. So, and I'm also starting Gardner Minshew as my QB2 in the semifinals. Thanks, Patrick Mahomes.
Man, you got to have some depth over there, my guy.
Depth. When you have Allen and Mahomes, I've in our league, I always have the most dog crap QB3, because I have my top two are so good. I'm like, whatever. I figure if I lose one of them anyways, I'm screwed.
Well,
so
Minshew's playing where then? What is he even?
Minshew's Mahomes' backup.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Kareem Hunt. The guy might get 50 carries this game. All right, let's go back. I don't know who they play, because they're eliminated.
Well, they're playing. They're actually playing the Titans, so they will. They're going to win.
So it's a good.
They are going to win.
Them, yeah. All right, Sharif. Let's go talk about DJT.
Mike, no,
we're going to get to that. I want to mention this headline over here, Ram. Michigan regulators approved DTE's energy request to fast-track the power for Oracle and OpenAI's planned Stargate data center in Saline Township for a 1.4 gigawatt project. Oracle would pay the cost under the DTE agreement, including minimum monthly charges and a termination fee. And the company said the broader Oracle OpenAI partnership now tops 8 gigawatts of planned U.S. capacity, with more than $450 billion of investment planned over the next 3 years. That just came out now. So the takeaway from that is the Michigan regulator has now approved their energy request. On to the next story. NVDA up 1.88%, bouncing back from a very bad day yesterday and probably rising amid the Micron bullishness of the AI trade. Separately, though, Tigris Financial raising their price target from $280 to $350. They keep it as a strong buy. The firm calls the must-own core holding in the AI investment theme, boys. Nvidia up 1.86.
Yeah, it's up, but it's still in this down channel recently. So, yeah, that's sort of the problem. Like, look at the last couple of weeks here on Nvidia, and it's kind of stair-stepping down. And every time we've had like a good up day, and okay, fine, there's been one good up day, it was followed by the biggest down day. And then we had like 2.5 days of consolidation, and of course yesterday. So like this pattern of we're meeting big up days with rejection, and we're meeting consolidations with moves down until that breaks in one meaningful way, either consolidate and break up or have an update that follows through. I kind of feel like at least this name is weak, but it doesn't mean that that's the place to go short. So 175 was a key price coming into it. I'm glad I didn't trade off of this, because it was a chop fest off the 75 level. You could have had a win early, and then you would have just been chopped up off that level after the fact. But I still think Nvidia, regardless of what anybody sort of looks at it in the long term. In the short term, it's downward trending, looking to find some reasonable support somewhere. It's like you have the 200 period here at 160. You got some wick bottoms at 165. So somewhere in that range, I think it'll show you a temporary bottom. It just hasn't done so yet. For today, the only chip name I traded today was Intel. Started out, actually, you know what? It didn't really set up cleanly, to my chagrin, until VWAP, which I missed that candle. Then I shorted underneath, which was okay, until took the third entry. I hate that entry. I usually have a rule about if I'm shorting a level, and it's showing me first support ends up a higher low. It's like, don't get out till it starts making a bottom. Then I'm like, oh, okay, it's making a higher low, let's get out again. But that's a higher low, I shouldn't be re-entering the trade here. Because at that point, I should only be re-entering the trade if it breaks that little uptrend that it put on. So I kind of violated that rule. Now I'm just shorting VWAP on Intel. Much weaker name, even though it's up today. But Nvidia, maybe 160 to 165, we can break this little malaise it's in.
When the seconds count, you do not have time to wait to treat your symptoms. NYSE-listed OGen is rewriting the rules of neurological care. They're looking to develop the first FDA-approved treatment for concussions. So if you, a family member, anybody you know is suffering from concussions, please let them know about OGen. Book a meeting with their team today over there at OGen, symbol OGEN, over there on the NYSE exchange. Go check them out. All right, so yeah, just NVIDIA, as Neil had mentioned there with Intel and Broadcom and AMD and all the bunch there. I think it's a nice little rebound day today for sure. I mean, because the fact that we had Micron, it's just sort of reaffirming some of the demand in the space. I know it's, it's RAM, but, good talk about that. If there was no demand for GPUs, there probably wouldn't be demand in this data center place, and that's what NVIDIA is all about anyways right now. I'm a little nervous, obviously, about what's been happening with OpenAI. But I am still long without any ideas of selling any of my NVIDIA. So I would say that if you're not in this name, and just, it's not financial advice, just what I'm looking at. I think this is a good area now. Whoa, I think it's a good area now from the highs. Here we go. We have, I try to use the equipment and whatever that's been given to us here. So let me just measure this real quick here without going over to TradingView or anything. Yeah, so is that right? 10? No, no. It's only saying it's down 10%, but that cannot be right because the high there was 210. 210 minus $40, so close to 20% right there to the downside there. Yeah, see it says right in, it says 8.98%, right. So I'll have to see what I did wrong there. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's taking it from this spot. Maybe it's taking it from there. Hold on a second. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll fix it anyways. So I was just going to say, down 20% roughly there on NVIDIA. Probably a spot if you're not long or looking to get longer. Bear territory is 20%. So basically NVIDIA is moments away, if not in a bear right now. And it's really been respected. And forget about what I just drew here. But if you go all the way back, this is July. So forget about everything you've heard about the demand and everything that NVIDIA is doing. All we've done is just basically erased half of a year. So if you go back and you think about what the demand was here and what the price and what the enterprise value for NVIDIA was here, well, they've booked more profits. They still have that big order log as well. And then hopefully now with more opportunities into China, just pay that 25% tariff, then, the China numbers will be in their next, potentially, I don't know, will be in their next release. There was no China-related numbers in their last release. So how could this be the same enterprise value now as it was back in July? I think that there's a little bit of a down drag in here as traders are nervous and maybe thinking they're caught holding the bag and nobody really wants to average in. So I would just say in and around this area, to me, looks like you could do worse out there. So yeah, NVIDIA down 20% to me would be a buy, and that's where it is right now. So I like it at 170.
All right, guys, FJET, Starfighter Space, that's what this company is called, down, halted now, $10.44. Here's some information on the company. So they operate a fleet of modified Lockheed F-104 supersonic jets. They're based out of NASA's Kennedy Space Center. They're used as a first-stage airborne launch platforms for small satellites and other payloads. They go up to about 45,000 feet. They pitch themselves as the only commercial operator actually able to sustain Mach 2 flight, and they're developing this program called Star Launch 1 and 2, which is a suborbital launch program targeting cost-effective and reusable access to space commercials, guys. So down halted here, 1044. Neil covered this a little bit at the open, that, you know, picking it up here at the open as an IPO probably wouldn't have done that well. It has a 599 low and a 1772 high.
Yeah, like if you can catch the bottom on these, I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird one because it was probably fantastic for most people that traded it. And I think maybe just comes down to patience. Like if you just sit it out and then start trading it after, like somewhere when it's not in the immediate halt, so it shows you a few bars, get a consolidation. I don't know, maybe there's a long in here off a 10 where you give to 950. Like that's the best I could come up with. I mean, obviously you could have played it here at 13, but I wasn't looking at it. At this point, I don't like anything on the back end of the trade. If it's this volatile at the open to get down to $6, then how much faith do you have in it holding this $10 level? Because a revisit of the lows certainly would make some sense. And the volume's 6 million today. It'll probably be like 1 million tomorrow. So I think this is it was your best shot to have possibly traded it this one early. Interesting. Hey, I like the space that they are in. But this one's going to be a pretty hard pass. But I think the interesting thing is there's something for everybody in the market. Like there was a couple of people, I saw them in the midday, or at least when they were talking about it, that they thought to them this was a better IPO than yesterday. And you know what? If you do better trading an FJET type IPO than you would Medline, great. Then make sure you wait for the next FJET type. Like I didn't even know this was coming out today because we only look for the big ones on big volume. But again, it comes down to what is your style and what works for you. Because clearly this was a great runner. And don't listen to anybody that, like, I might say, well, I don't like the volume, I don't like the liquidity, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what I think about it. It just means I don't want to trade it. But if this one works for you and you get patient enough to be able to get it, you're going to probably see bigger percentage wins on stocks like FJET on day one. The only thing I would say is, make sure you have a good, solid risk structure, because the downside on this, like when we got stopped out, like originally on the open yesterday. Like what did it print? Like a couple of cents underneath the even dollar?
Yeah, the most I saw was 4 cents.
Yeah, like a stop out on this, I don't even want to know what that looks like.
But that's why the strategy changes.
Your strategy changes. Like you probably are giving it an incredibly wide range. You're probably just trying to not get caught in a halt is probably where your stop is. By the way, it just halted. In the time I was talking, it just halted to the downside again. Now at 953 with an even tap. This one might retrace all the way back to the bottom.
Telling me that not all IPOs are the same. All right, here's a big shout out right here to Joe Tabor. What's up, Joe Tabor? 6630. That's my wake up time, 6:30. Go right over there. All right, big day today. Short SNDK. Bang. Off 223. All right. And long Lululemon from 168, 18 trading days ago. You and I both, my friend, congratulations on the Lululemon trade there today. I'm just going to go over, and I wanted to pull that up because we're done right now, the rundown, and I just wanted to show you that we did not get to Lululemon, and I actually did not get out of anything during lunchtime, so it does fall in. It's been really getting crushed today a little bit, actually. Back down to the downside, Lululemon now at its lows. So I just wanted to ask there, Joe Tabor there, did you get out of some of your Lululemon today? If not, what would the plan of action be over there? But all right, so there it is, man. Lululemon. Tonight we have Nike, I believe, and we got FedEx. So maybe we can get a chat up there about which stock would you rather own heading into earnings, FedEx or Nike? And then tomorrow we can see where those votes go and who is accurate on that one. For me, I would be FedEx. Okay.
One chart's not like the other, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. I really like FedEx, and I should have got into that a couple weeks ago. That is my bad, as I'm looking to diversify the portfolio. And for that, I'm going to contact Wu-Tang Financial.
Yes.
All right. So shout out to Sia in the back, and she's going to give us Happening Now.
Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I hope you're having a good day so far. The year-over-year core inflation rate came out today at 8:30 this morning. with the number falling to 2.6 this November, which was the lowest it has been since March of 2021, also below market expectations of 3%. The actual number came out 0.4% lower than forecasted, standing at 2.6%. Initial job claims also came out earlier today, standing at 224,000, 13,000 lesser compared to last time, and continuing jobless claims at 189,000, 67,000 more than what came out last time. The consumer index also rose to 2.7 annual rate per the delayed report from BLS. And later today, keep an eye out for the Fed balance sheet dropping along with the month-over-month core inflation rate post-market at 4:30 p.m. Let's also quickly go over some headlines for today. Micron has beat Wall Street's fiscal first quarter expectations after its earnings last evening. Company says that it's expecting total addressable market for high bandwidth memory and to hit 100 billion by 2028. MU stock also jumped 12.3% earlier today and is currently up 12.38%. Management has upped their capital expenditure guidance from $18 billion to $20 billion. The company has reported earnings of $4.78 per share and on $13.64 billion in revenue. Let's also take a quick look at Nike. Nike's expected to report its earnings later today after the bell, and currently the stock is up 0.41%. Company has just completed a year under the CEO Elliott Hill's turnaround strategy, which is centered around regaining its growth and market share and focusing more on the wholesale investment in relationships. For the second fiscal quarter of 2026, analysts have expected 38 cents of earnings per share and $12.22 billion in total revenue. Overall, however, Nike stock has dropped more than 11% this year. Also, really interesting news, CMG, Chipotle, has introduced meat in a cup, chasing the protein craze, and because of this, their stock rose 2.07% earlier today. Customers in the United States and Canada will be able to access their 4-ounce adobo chicken and steak extra in a cup starting this Tuesday, and stocks are currently up 2.26%. I personally think this is a really smart move as a lover of Chipotle and someone who chases the daily protein streak. Back to the guys. Thank you.
Questions? I'm raising my hand, Sia. So so as a lover of protein, first off, what do you think about eating about 18 eggs in a day for your protein intake?
I don't want stuff to stink, so I probably know how to do that. I don't know how Sheriff does it.
I love the brutal honesty. Right there. Okay. Well.
No, someone in the comments earlier went that, oh my God, Sharif's fart stinks. And I was like, okay, that's a weird comment.
I'm going to take this over. All right, thanks,
keeping
Sia.
it real
all right, yeah.
Very right.
Yeah, or very wrong. Okay, so thanks, Sia. Great little talk there. And Chipotle's been on a move lower as of late. And I mean, I was talking about how more and more, and it's too bad that, all right, well, it's nicely cooking to the upside. Not good earnings, but no, and it doesn't matter. I mean, if we can zoom back out, there's always going to be missed trades and missed opportunities. But I remember sitting here on the, oh yeah, okay, I got to use a different chart. Hold on a second, guys. I'm not going to use this one anymore. CMG right here, just real quick, and then we're going to go over to Adara. I just wanted to say, like, I was talking about this after their earnings. I mean, they had a huge miss all the way to the downside. And then we talked about more and more return to work. Chipotle is obviously a big lunchtime thing. So outside of more and more high density areas, being populated once again by employees, workers looking for lunch, looking for whatever, I still think Chipotle does have a tough road back to the upside. So we're going to get that all figured out now. 200 period, $44 for Chipotle. I think if you've enjoyed that move up, might be time to look at your position and think about what you're going to do with Chipotle. We'll talk about Kava after we get back from Adara. I think there's more marijuana news.
Here about the market, because we have comments coming from U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Lutnick saying a couple things of interest, including the fact that apparently more drug pricing announcements are going to be coming before the end of 2025. Now, that's about 2 weeks from now. So we know we had these drug pricing announcements with Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, among others, I believe. Looks like we're going to be getting more before the year runs out. He also said that the new Fed chair, whomever that may be, will bring down interest rates, according to an interview with Fox News. So again, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick making comments, be aware. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. We did have a couple of super chats I wanted to get to. First one, Patrick Jam. Nasty candles on Micron. Are they, though? I mean, not really. Like this morning, yes. I would say right now it looks pretty steady to the downside, so I'm not sure if you saw anything that we didn't. But yeah, Micron, despite being up 11%, obviously has been trending down for a little bit, and at the open did the same thing. But I don't think anything too crazy is happening in Micron. Maybe you have some like dark pool wicks that I'm not seeing. And then we have another one, and this is a shout out and thank you, PVT Wow. Can we go over the Santa Claus rally, or the Christmas rally? What's the Santa Claus rally that the NOS boss provided? So it's the last 5 trading days of the year in December, and then the first couple in January is typically the Santa Claus rally. Although, I just realized, do we count, like, does the Santa Claus rally count the half day as one of the days? So I'm gonna.
I think it starts, regardless of what Michael Noss said, I think it starts the 26th.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Yeah, because they wouldn't start it on the 24th, so it should be Boxing Day, which it's not a market holiday. It's a holiday in Canada. It's not a holiday in the U.S. And then goes into whatever that works out to in January. I'd have to look it up on the calendar. What'll that be, like the 5th, I suppose? Because
it's the 3 trading days.
Oh, never mind. Because the first is a Thursday, so 1, 2. It'll be like the 6th, because that'll be the Tuesday, right? Because Friday, the first day back in January is going to be a Friday, believe it or not. It's kind of weird. Like it really chops it up, like because the first is a Thursday, so then you come back for 1 day, and then we'll have.
Okay.
I've also I kind of always never understood why they don't have a half day for New Year's Eve. That's just kind of a weird.
It's a full day, isn't it?
New Year's Eve is a full day. The markets, hey, we'll have a fun time. That's for sure. Maybe we should do like champagne or something.
Yeah, we could.
We could.
Here, I was going to say, let's just go over and have a quick little look then. A little look-see there at the Qs and what happened last Santa Claus rally time. So this right here is the 20th. So we're going to go into December. And last year, it was definitely not a Santa Claus rally. Wow. Last year, it was the opposite. So last year, we have the 26th right here, which is this red candle at 526. By the time we got to New Year's, you were down to 5. So you had 4 straight down days. So opposite of Santa Claus rally. Then the first 3 days, we did get back going. In the new year, we got a little bit going there again. And then only followed by another flush. So last year, Santa brought the market a couple lumps of coal. So please do not consider the Santa Claus rally as anything other than just something fun to talk about. All right. Yeah, one thing I wanted to look at was as well, are we going to Adara? No, okay, good. All right, perfect. Okay, like what in the Adara, we're going to Adara right now, is I'm gonna ask what the heck happened with Bitcoin. So this was 88,000, okay? In a matter of, this is a 1-minute chart. So at 12 o'clock, Bitcoin was 88,000, all right? At 12:30, it was 85.5. So you lost like basically 4% in a half hour. That's nice. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, bang. And now you're down again in just 20 minutes right there. We just lost $1,000 again on Bitcoin. Man, this thing is not looking the greatest right here. On your daily chart, I think they're getting ready to rug this thing. So get ready for crypto. Get your orders locked and loaded at 75 and change. And after that, put some orders at $60,100. Sorry, Amin, I couldn't hear you.
But we can certainly all hear about Beta Pro by Globex Canada, the largest provider of inverse leveraged ETFs here. And they got a few new ones here. We've got 3x bull and bear exposure to TSX S&P 60, semis, and U.S. Treasuries. Also, they're going to be dropping their fees to just 65 basis points throughout the end of the year, so you only have a couple of weeks to take advantage of this. They also have currency hedging, so you can have more pure performance and exposure to your trade. So hey, if you're a tactical and sophisticated trader looking to amplify some performance, then check out betapro.ca 3x daily, scan the QR code you see right in front of you to learn more. And we're going to go to Adara, I do believe. So let's go to the, what? Oh,
yeah, no, I just wanted, I wanted to ask you there if there was.
I thought it was like a news story.
Yeah, I know the rug pull's already started with Bitcoin, but what was up with that move, Adair? Was there anything on that, or?
Which move on Bitcoin here? Let me check.
At noon. I was just talking about it.
At noon? Okay, so yeah, let me look here. Around noon, there was that drop. The only thing that happened there was we just got some companies that were kind of coming out here with regards to who's going to be involved in that Genesis AI project announced by the Trump admin back on November 24th, 2025, so just under a month ago. But yeah, apparently like these companies include Intel, IBM, HPE, the latter two of which had their CEOs visit Trump last week, by the way. But we also had Nvidia, like the old standards Nvidia, Amazon, etc. So there was a lot of companies mentioned there with regards to this Genesis AI project. The other thing, though, Sean, that might be more relevant for crypto than it was for the overall market could be the fact that apparently there was a bit of a drop there for those mortgage rates. We have the mortgage rates come out at 12. I did see that. Unclear if either of those stories are directly connected to that move, but it's worth noting the whole market kind of dropped like that. Bitcoin just seemed to drop harder and faster, if you will. And now we're going to take a look at a segment. Let's see ya.
Huge volume, too.
The Russell today, it's up 0.85%. Tech is doing really, really well. Finance, health, retail, all super flat. However, let's take a look at Bloom Energy. BE is up. Let's take a look. BE is up 4.04% right now. Closed at $76.97 yesterday, down 12.4%, around $10.5. The company's stocks have been performing pretty well over the past couple months and have gained 8.2%. It outperformed S&P's growth of 3.5% and is clearly benefiting from growing clean power demand from the AI-driven data centers. Also, Urban Outfitters in retail is up 0.35% after the CEO, Richard Haynes, sold 40,000 shares as of 15th and 16th of December. Transactions included and not limited to direct shares, and also indirect shares were included. Indirect ownership was included. Shares were being sold at a weighted average of $81.81 to $83.91, with the total sale amount being a big amount. And CRDO, Credo Technology, showing gains by 3.38% today after company's director Feng Cheng made the decision to sell 55,000 shares worth $7.9 million. And that's all. Back to the guys.
Thank you very much, Sia. Man, Bloom is, oh my goodness. Like, it's the rug that's happened on that stock. You know what? And this is why I have concerns about SNDK. Like, this chart, and a lot of other ones that are like it, it's not like Bloom is the only chart that looks like this, but look at how crazy it was. It's like, oh, it's in favor, it's in favor. Well, okay, party's over when you get this pullback and then the lower high, right? Well, what looks almost exactly like this? So remember, just take a mental picture of Bloom Energy, and then we look at SanDisk. Oh, does that look the same? It looks pretty much the same to me, and the only thing left is there's your lower high, double top, and then crap all over yourself till it gets down to like 120 or something like that. Completely unrelated, but it's like the unwind of parabolic stocks. They don't always look identical on the way up, but man, do they look very similar on the way down, I'll tell you that much. And so far, that's what I think can be happening next on SanDisk. Bloom Energy, just like when they're in favor, it's great. We saw this with Abercrombie. It was probably 2 years ago, actually, now that I think about it. It wasn't even last year. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, the ANF. 2023, maybe? I'm going to throw it up here just to see. Load. It was in favor for so long, and then it had the big drop, and yeah, it's going to end up being way further back than I want as we enter power hour.
Yeah, we're entering power hour. And I just want to say, like, remember about 30 minutes ago when the futures were up here, and I said the futures look like they're on their way down here. So I hope that some of you were looking at that, and if you were in the futures, hopefully you're able to get out. We did talk about not buying Nvidia because we were thinking the futures had a lower move. Remember, I said if we break VWAP, the futures, the traders will probably want to see some of these lows again. So they're seeing them right now. Let's see what winds up happening right there with. Yeah, oh yeah, shoot, I forgot we have that one. That's literally my favorite one right there. Okay, yeah. All right, so some talk about Rivian. All right, so I'm almost out of everything. Yeah, that's later on. I'm almost out of everything right now on Rivian. So someone was asking about a target there. Now my last piece out is 1910 right there, but we have like 5% left, all right, maybe even less than that on Rivian. All right, so we just enjoy this move up, and look what's happening in the futures. So we're not going to think too much about Rivian anymore today. That trading is, for me, most likely done. Okay, so that's that. If I'm going to do anything, it might be in something that has a little bit of juice to it. So Tesla, right? And I was going to try to look at TSLL moving forward. I'll probably go back to Tesla, but I did write down on the note today TSLL. So it's just bouncing right there off VWAP. So let's see if it winds up holding that. I think we could go long here off the volume weighted average price here. So it's something that I'm looking at. The only problem is we're leaning down here on the indicators for myself. 200 period, 50 period, 21, and then VWAP. And up into here, 23 bucks has been the high. We sort of ticked off there a little bit, and then every single time we tried to break higher, we faded out until eventually we broke that 200 period. So yeah, I think it's worth a shot. 2230s there. If we do get that opportunity right here, right now, we'll see if we can recoup some money from Tesla yesterday and go on that one. All right, so Boeing's been a good little look as well. Shout out to 21 Savage. Probably no one got that reference, so it doesn't matter. But down into there, Boeing. Boeing's been good off two bills, man. I mean, it's been good, and it's not really going to the downside here at all, but it is holding its 200 marker there, BA. So, you know, a little look there if we do get back in. Not much going on there. It just crossed the scanner. Was hoping there might be something. Let's have a quick look at Netflix. A buyer of Netflix I am, but down today. So yuck on that one, as we'll slap this toilet flush on there on Netflix. You know, I'm long at 96. It's flushed back in. I will be buying more of this name, and I just don't know where yet. So Netflix, was thinking $88 and change on that one. There come the futures, man. Wow. Damn, man. I should be doing this more often. We called the move down, and then we called sort of an area of support there. I'm a little nervous. The volume is actually okay. It's not like we're in lunchtime right now or anything like that. The volume is a little bit, it's not great. We do have quad witching.
So we're going to see better volumes tonight and tomorrow in the afternoon than usual. That's just how it is for witching at the end of the year. So you can expect movement today and tomorrow. Maybe not as much today, but tomorrow big time. Carvana, baby.
You'll be lucky enough to have Obi sitting in for me tomorrow. So Obi will be here tomorrow, and he will be trading probably not that often, and probably similar to me as well. So watch out for Obi tomorrow. Get ready to ask him all of those questions, and I'll probably be watching near the end of the day because I remember, I believe it was I can go find the spot exactly where it was. When I was in the chat, I was sitting at home watching the show, and it was 131. It was right here. It was this day in June. So the 6-month rebalancing, and now you get the full year. I was sitting in the chat when Palantir was doing this, and we were able to get long at 131. Then the very next day on Monday, I was yelling at the people in the chat about it. And then the very next day, it popped up to 138. It did revisit, and then it just took off. So you are going to get moves, and just zooming in there. Whoa, I'm still on this. Whoa, I get rid of that. Right into there, June. So it was this move right into there. And the very next day, the cat came back, and it went up to, you thought it was a goner, but it came back. And then right in there, 138. And then, I don't know, the market must have had a little dip on that Tuesday, and then we just took off from there. So we'll wait to see, well, I won't be here, but you guys will wait to see tomorrow to see if there is a violent move one way or the other, and try to catch it if you can, because there's a lot of money to be made on those kind of moves.
In the chat, I was just answering a question. The question was from Bill's camp. Whether usually on triple witching is the volume to the upside or the downside. It's not really, it's not a hard rule like that, because if you really think about it, like in the options market, there's a balance there, and then when you think about index rebalancing, there's going to be lots of up weights, there's down weights, like something goes in the index, somebody's coming out. So it's not as if overall volume typically has one direction. Sometimes you will see it favor one way or another, but I don't know that there's any rule to that. At least I've never observed it like, hey, on year-end rebalancing and triple witching, we're favoring the long, we're favoring the short. I've never found it to be that way at all. Individual names, you might have a bias. Like, of course, I'm going to be biased, like this time tomorrow, maybe biased to the long side on Carvana because that's a gigantic addition to the index. It's going to the S&P 500. But it's not the only one. It's just the only one it's the one that I care about the most because it's the biggest action. I forget the other name going in, but I did want to give an update. I elected to pull the old, well, this is my trail out, so I'm just going to add. Can we come to the chart for a second? And this is sort of like when I'm in something which is already in the money, which is trending down, instead of just putting the trail in, what I try to do sometimes is, okay, well, it just got to this profit target. So if it breaks down, I want to add to it here. My average price ends up basically at break even. If it takes this out, if it breaks lower, then great. But until I'll just wait for it to get to VWAP again. But I like that when it's working the trend to the downside. And if we reverse, I wait for the volume weighted average price to try to jump back into it. I see Bitcoin is battling with 85K. Unconfirmed whether we're going to hold it. Bitcoin's literally back and forth. I've just seen it go back and forth 85K multiple times, and ETH is doing the same thing at 28. So there was someone in the chat mentioning it's a bullish thing if Bitcoin closes above 185. I actually don't disagree with that. I'm just not completely convinced we're going to hold that level. So I'm going to zoom out so you can sort of see. This has been support above the 85 level for the last couple of days. So it's pretty bearish if obviously it goes both ways. If we lose this level tonight. However, if you do get a wick bottom, we can close. I'd argue you want to be well into the 85.5, 86 range to hold this support. That would give you maybe another push into 90 here. But for myself, I look at it, no matter how the day ends today, I can't be happy with it because I liked IBIT for a short and I ended up down on the stock when I was shorted. So it was a frustrating one because sometimes you can have the bias for a direction, but if it doesn't set you up an entry that allows you to be in the trade, or I missed the setup that was there after, if I take it the third time on the same setup, it would have worked, but you got to be at your desk at all times sometimes. That's just how it goes. So it was a frustrating day on IBIT, but this market, the crypto market, I should say, is certainly right now more bearish than either the Nasdaq, whatever you want to look at. S&P, Dow, Nasdaq. There's no question that right now crypto is the other way.
Takes one. There it is, man. It's Rivian. Wow. The bulls are running on Rivian again, man. It's not only was it a good trade, it was reloaded as well. So there it goes. We don't have much left, but wow, there goes Rivian. Couldn't be happier with that trade. What's up, Adara?
Take a look here at SHFS. This is SHF holding. This one moving higher here, and it's also in watch here alongside MSOS with regards to some of this cannabis-related news we had earlier today. Apparently, I'm seeing a report suggesting that a senior advisor to President Trump said that, quote, this is just the start. Bold clemency action, a directive to Congress to pass safer banking, and the formation of a descheduling commission are all being planned for the first half of 2026. So again, advisor to President Trump indicating that H1 2026 is going to bring about more news in the cannabis space. SHFS, again, is on watch here. Apparently, looks like they're related to the banking aspect of this. Back to you.
SH, okay, never heard of them. There was this, yeah, unfamiliar with that name. There was a ticker that was similar to that. Anyways, well, it doesn't seem to be having a very good day of it, I'll tell you that much. Yikes. Ooh, well, I don't like that chart whatsoever on SHFS. That's a flat bottom break. That's a habitual line stepper. That is a hedge fund's dream for just jumping into the short and dumping all over these guys. Yeah, that's correct. Give them the Wilhelm scream for sure, because that's what people have been doing if they've been in this one. You've been able to catch some wins in this, I'm sure, if you find the accumulation points and then just take it when it breaks. Here, accumulation, break, accumulation, small break. It's in an accumulation now, it just hasn't broken out. So it's showing you the pattern. On stock like this shows you the pattern. There's no excuse for getting caught when a flat bottom breaks the low. But yeah, however you skin it, this one looks like it's pretty dead. Rivian Millionaire asking about Nvidia. Yeah, it's kind of breaking this downward trend. I'm not in love. To me, I'm not in love with that one, to be honest with you. I would almost defer. I would defer to a trend break, maybe on something like AMD, which is just moving more. Nvidia, it's just not moving as much. And when a stock is the less it has volatility relative to its peers, then the less I'd want to be involved in a trend break. For a trend break, I kind of want it to be moving. Is it doing more than the market? Is it doing more than its peers? Then I think a trend break makes sense. So I would look at if an AMD was giving a setup or an SMCI was giving a setup along those lines. Look at SMCI compared to Nvidia. That stock's getting destroyed. That's going to move a heck of a lot more. Look at this. That's got to be one of the worst chip names easily today.
We talked about Tesla, yeah, SMCI. Well, down 1.4? No, it's probably, Broadcom I think might be down, I'm not sure. But yeah, Tesla there today. We talked about 484, by the way, and yeah, once again, man, we had some great calls this morning, and we missed them, and there goes Tesla right now again as well. Missed that 484. We'll buy 484s if it comes back. All right, let's go check in with Sia one more time.
Okay, guys, let's do a quick sector watch. As compared to yesterday, energy is not doing the best right now. Amazon, however, retail trading 2.09% higher after OpenAI's announcement yesterday that it's in talks with Amazon about an investment that could exceed $10 billion. Tesla is also soaring since SpaceX IPO hype is building, currently trading 4.23% up. Uber also trading 1% up as stock trades around $80, seen cheap by analysts. Uber Technologies announced the departure of its safety chief, Gus Fuldner, amid a recent executive shakeup. And honestly, that's all that I'm looking at right now. Electronic tech services looking pretty good and flat. Finance is super flat today. Yeah, that's all. Back to the guys.
Thank you again, Sia. DJT making some fresh highs as well. That's going pretty slow and steady to the upside after their AET or whatever, after their business combination and merger into the fusion space. It's finally at that $15 level, so this is filling in the entirety of the gap. I'm sure the Donald is going to be dancing it off with this one.
Crazy.
I don't know how much, I couldn't tell you how much he's made when this moves 43% to the upside, but it's not nothing. But also keep in mind, this was in the 50s, believe it or not. In the 40s at the beginning of the year, but it was in the 50s late last year, and has been on a pretty steady downward trajectory. It gets whether it's a trap. Well, I don't want to call it out. I'm not the one. I'm not sitting here.
I don't know.
I don't know. Look, I don't really know enough about this fusion company that they're merging with. Who knows? Maybe it ends up the next big thing, and they make some real progress. There are a few companies out there that I know have made some serious waves in fusion technology. I just have no idea whether or not they're combining with one that has something going on. That's what you got to figure out. And if you can, more power to you. It's probably like trying to figure out which one of these quantum names has the best methodology and is going to make the biggest breakthrough. Do you like a Rigetti? Do you like a D-Wave? Do you like an Ion Q? Who knows? They all have different approaches to a similar technology, and one's going to win out. I do not profess to be an expert, so I'm not saying DJT is a trap. I would just simply say that most of the time, if it has a good day, it doesn't last very long. I'll leave it at that.
Right here, I'm always going to post these kind of things up, and there it goes. Everybody on this show does a great job. A lot of compliments there for Sia in the chat. So thank you, Sia, for adding to our show. Okay. Looks like the girls are busy. today. Adara with more news.
Keep an eye on LUNR and RKLB. LUNR wasn't really moving. RKLB is at day's highs. There is a new executive order called, quote, ensuring American space superiority. Once I get a better sense of what that means, I'll keep you posted. But either way, our KLB seems to like it, or at least not be bothered by it. Now, before we send you back to the guys, I do have to mention, we have a new infographic here in X at TTV Research. Now, we know we have a ton of names on watch after the bell: FedEx, KB Home, Nike, and BlackBerry. Did you realize, though, that we have some heavy hitters before the bell tomorrow, including one that I know Neil watches on earnings: Carnival, Cruise Line, CCL. So make sure to check these out on X at TTV Research. I will have a Carnival earnings preview coming out tonight. It's already been scheduled, and I have earnings previews already for FDX, NKE, and BB. If you scroll up a little bit here on X at TTV Research, we'll send you back to Sean and Neil, but not before telling you to like and subscribe.
Well, I mean, had we seen that infographic before, Adair, then certainly this poll would have had BlackBerry on it, obviously, so that people could have proclaimed their preference to own BlackBerry over Nike and FedEx going into tomorrow's earnings. My guess is the current 58% FedEx and the 42% Nike would probably be 58% FedEx and 42% Nike if we had put BlackBerry on the poll. So probably a good thing we didn't include them on there. But yes, Carnival Cruise Lines. I like Carnival. I like what's going on in the space. I strongly dislike when they report their earnings. Some companies have the intelligence to report or the courtesy to report their earnings well before the bell when they do it in the morning. Carnival tends to report at like 9:10 or like 9:15. So then you have like a few minutes before the opening bell to sort of work things out, which makes it just makes it a frustrating trade most days. Sometimes you can set something up a little. I think the last time I waited till like 10 or 10:30 and was able to get something going in Carnival. But I do like the, oops, I meant to go to the stock. I do like what's going on in both this and NCLH. You know, they've broken a downtrend. Let's see the numbers come out. Want to wait till after earnings to see what the next move will be, whether it's back into consolidation off the $26 level, or we can look for this to break out into some fresh highs. It's all about experiences lately, and some people, like a good friend of mine's on a cruise right now. I know plenty of my parents like cruises. I'm not a big boat person. You probably never see me on one, but it doesn't really matter. It's what the masses do, and they're spending on experiences over things, and that falls right into their laps.
Funny thing is, they're not spending anything on EVs right now, which is strange. I only put Rivian here, and I'll put this note in the chat again. I do this every single day, of course, except for tomorrow, because I'm not here. But there's Rivian. But you know, this is what it was here today. It's a sticky note. This is what we have as a #1 trade idea. You know, Rivian, 18 dip buy or 1850 rip, right? Upgrade at Baird today, citing the new R2, autonomy and AI, looking long with a 15% short float, right? So we were looking long on Rivian. This is the talk. We put this out at 8:30 or 9 o'clock or whatever. These are all the notes that I had today, and we even talked about Rivian in our market commentary as well. The TQ's long. You know, the TQ's long at this level hit, and we didn't take it. Palantir does not go that low, but Google, you know where Google was? 299. Look at this recommendation, 299 to 300 right there on Google. So let's just go over and have a quick little look to see what Google's at. Google might even be there right now. We haven't even looked at that yet. Okay, so we wrote down 299 to $300 bottom there, or where we looking long on Google. We wrote that down when, of course, Google was up here, right? Or we made our sticky note and released it. I think today was about 9 o'clock. I was working on it. People were yelling at me to get it out a little bit faster there. But look where Google goes, man. Its low today is 299.25s. And then 299.50, we reached that level twice, or more than that, but two different areas of support hit, and we didn't take the long. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous early. I like the Rivian call. I mean, you got to make calls on things. I like the Rivian call more than the Google one, so I wanted to support that long. And if both, I didn't want both not working, so we did step out of Google trade, and we should have stayed in it. So we did have a pending bid there and pulled it. So we're learning more and more every single day. But hey, man, now Rivian's almost at $20. We did blow through 20 the very first time, and we touched out at $20.08. So that was a nice little take there, but it has since faded back out. All right, so faded back in just a little bit anyways. I don't think it's going anywhere. All right, Bitcoin. Would I talk about what this is funny. Okay, here we go, right here. We don't even talk about what our P&Ls here are on the show. okay? So no, unfortunately, we won't be discussing our net worth on the show, but I do appreciate the fact that you're asking, so thank you so much for that. All right, so yeah, it does look like right now Bitcoin on a daily chart is definitely seeing some support, right? I think it's going to crank a lot lower over the next couple of days, so watch out for that lump of coal coming through. It doesn't mean that it's going to. I just don't like this movement today. We don't even really have any significant news of any sort there that caused this 4% move down. Yep, I will. From 88 down to 86, 85. So basically that move that started from here at 1040, we were at 89,000 at 1040. Okay, so 5 hours later, we're down here to 84. Now we're having a nice little bump up right now on Bitcoin. So let me just, even if I zoom out, yeah, so I don't know why you would have thought that it could have bumped off there, but it did. So now we play, if you're long on Bitcoin, now you just say, okay, it bumped off of a random spot. So now that's the spot that we look at, you know, to see if it can hold. Like, why did it hold there? Maybe some buyers were coming in. I could add volume to see if there's any volume behind that one, but 84, 350, 80, let's say 84 flat, I guess, if you really were wanting to hold it. So I would say watch out for that move incoming again on BTC. What's up, eh?
I want to talk here about LUNR. I did mention here LUNR and RKLB Rocket Lab with regards to this new executive order that was called Ensuring American Space Superiority. I do want to provide a little bit more background on this because I did have the time to read through this a bit. So the reason LUNR, or Intuitive Machines, was part of this was because of this executive order's focus on the moon. So apparently this order has set some targets to return astronauts to the moon by 2028 and establish initial elements of a permanent lunar outpost by 2030. They also want more commercial launch and exploration, prototyping some next generation missile defense technologies by 28. So lots of different, specifically lunar and space related headlines here coming out of this EO. If there is anything more, if people have any questions, you can just tag me in the chat. I will do my best to parse through this and let you know. But LUNR certainly trying to move a little bit higher off of this news. Here's RKLB, which is kind of running to some resistance at 59.50. As we send you back to Neil and Sean.
Who wants to send people to the moon? I mean, let's be real. The only reason the U.S. went to the moon is because of the Cold War. There's this demonstration that Neil deGrasse Tyson always does, and I'm going to steal it right now. He says if the Earth is your fist, then how far we get off the planet now is like the width of like a couple of coins. That's how far we go if your Earth is a fist, and like it's, you know, more than arm's length is where the moon is. Just to give you a bit of perspective, for a private company to say they're going to do it, it's like, it could happen, but like the will for like governments to do it, it's just, they don't care. There needs to be some kind of a push. Like if China says we're going to the moon and we're going to put a base up there, the U.S. will be there in 2 days, or not. Well, they'll just put a full, not 2 days literally, but they'll put a full court press on. So it's going to have to be somebody private. I don't know if these guys can pull it off. That seems a little bit.
I think that's a good point there. Oracle is putting some data centers on the moon right now as we speak. So.
But there's a very big difference between that and actually putting boots on. Is very different.
Yeah, I don't think Oracle's going up there. Okay,
no, but
so
it does. There's a long term.
Yeah, there has to be. I think
that does make sense. I just don't know if we're getting there in the short term. It was something on Bitcoin I was going to mention. I saw in the chat some people were mentioning the Bank of Japan and a rate decision. That's going to cost that will cause a little bit of excess volatility in Bitcoin. So we're going to be a little bit more patient tomorrow, but I'm favoring shorts again. Like I said, it was a bit of a fail because, you know, like I came in, like this was the one thing I knew I wanted this one short. When it doesn't get to your target, you have to find entry points because it was nowhere close to where I thought the real short was. But it did trend down, of course, when the floodgates opened up. You got to be sitting at your desk. I'm looking at BM&R right now, though. Just for... Look, I like the weakness in BM&R. It traded once today, but I'm looking at yesterday's lows. And of course, Ethereum is right at 28,000, which is its own key level for Ethereum. Like Bitcoin, you know, 85K, ETH, 28's been a big level as well. So right at this 29 even on BM&R is right where the bottom got made on that crazy candle, and we're consolidating under it. So going into power hour, I want to see if it can pop, put in another lower high, and just go for a little scalp trade, favoring the downside here on BM&R, which is also ETH. Our good friend Tom Lee. This is BMNR. If we lose that 85K, if ETH loses a bid right here, there's not much below about 25 bucks on BMNR. Like if we think Bitcoin could make a gap move downside or ETH could make a gap move downside, like what happens here if we lose some of this bid? Like that could be 30 or 40%. Forget about like looking at 10.
You know what else we're looking at? Yeah, no, I think, I mean, anybody that followed Tom Lee is out of the money now, so congratulations on that. And I just want to say right here, DJT, if you're following Donald John Trump, then yeah, today you have been rewarded. Even if you took this thing, remember, we are now live every single day at 8 a.m. So if you came in here and took that with us at 8 a.m., even at 9:30, you know, that was $12, $13 right there. Do we have that dancing Donald J. Trump thing? Because, you know, today shareholders are definitely dancing this one off. Up 44% right there for DJT as they get, there it is, they get a merger agreement here with TAE Enterprises, which is a fusion power company. So I don't even have any idea what that has to do with Truth social media or anything like that, but it is DJT now making moves.
They do everything now.
They do everything. You might as well, right?
I mean, they're a finance company.
Yeah,
they're a crypto company. They're now an energy company.
Yeah.
They're a media company.
Neil, don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Don't be rude.
Uh-oh, what was that?
Rude.
That used to mean a call for Adara, that horn.
It did.
China.
Do it again.
No, it must mean, no, it's not. Adara's not even there. Move your head, Neil. Is Adara sitting there?
They're
Nope.
eating the
Okay,
dogs.
so that means it's
Eating the
not.
cats.
Oh yeah, that's right. They
They're
were
eating
eating the dogs and the cats. That was apparently truth there. So,
That's
yeah, what's up, Kenny there? Kenny's up 250 on Rivian. You are welcome, my friend, right there. So big shout out to you right there, Kenny. Right there, a good Canadian show. Kenny versus Spenny.
That's old school.
If you've ever
You know how
heard
old that show
of
is?
Kenny versus Spenny. One of the greatest shows in Canadian history. All right, and you know, seriously.
No, if that show was now, like with YouTube Shorts and social media, it would be on a different level because of those types of shows where you just take the funniest moments and they're all over social media.
Yeah.
That show would have crushed it. It was just like they were a little bit before their time.
Yeah, go check out Kenny the Spenny if you have a chance. Okay, so all right, Apple, Google, Nvidia, SMR, Boeing, Google, Apple, Boeing. Okay, so it's all the same names here. Let me check out what Apple's doing right now as we go through it. I mean, we can have a quick little look at this watch list, and I know Fabian, Ramin, they like to zoom in on these type of things here. Let's just see what's moving around here today. Let's start out at the top side. Micron right now up 12%, so that's still going. SOXL, we've had a nice little rebound day in the overall semiconductor marketplace as well. Affirm seems to be doing Affirm type things today, up 8% for Affirm, up 7%, sorry, for Affirm today. That's been cooking off some of those levels there as well. Starbucks, we like that stock, up to $90 right now goes Starbucks. We'll see, they are selling out some of their Chinese subsidiaries there, China coming into play for them. So we'll see what happens there with Starbucks. Nice move up there today, another 5%. Palantir up 5 points as well. Tesla, some company, is up 4%, up to 490, getting close to that. Marvell, my guy right there. We really like Marvell, not the superheroes, of course. Amazon up 2. Let's go to the other side of this. There's Mara down there, down 2. Oxy down 2, Roblox, SMCI, iBit only down 1 right now, so that's interesting. PayPal, Coinbase, XOM. So yeah, thanks Fabian for all of that. We'll zoom back out now and I'll get rid of it. But that's just some little names there that's been moving around today, and it's been an aggressive day for sure in the marketplace. And
Bitcoin's 4% off the highs. I know that.
Yeah.
I know iBit says it's down 1%, but if you go to the double top today, it's down 4%. Sometimes
Right.
I feel like if you go to the prior close, it's a little bit. Arbitrary is the wrong word, but it can be misleading. Like BMNR is only down 2%, but from the high, it is down 10% today. This is given up in a single session. It just flat bottom broke, so now there's a trend line. I'm gonna try and short back into this trend line. Bitcoin lost 85 again. ETH just lost 28. So it's breaking down toward low of the day. Again, only 1% down, but what is that? Does that really tell you the story? It just means we gapped up and then lost the entirety of that gap. There's no doubt what the weakest segment of the market is going to be right now, and it's going to be crypto, unfortunately. Oh, I wanted to, there was someone in the chat that was talking about WBD and Warner Brothers. We've covered Netflix, and Netflix has moved down. For the record, for those that are that were looking at that WBD at 30 and sort of the fade because there's really wasn't much upside past that, and now all of a sudden the board is recommending the Netflix side of the trade or the Netflix deal. It's more or less priced within 10 to 15 pennies right now of the Netflix deal. So if you just take the actual ratio of stock and cash, then it's within 10% of that. But that doesn't factor in the time value of money and the fact that this deal will still, even if they close it, it'll close well into next year. So in theory, it should even be a little bit lower than this, maybe even like a full $1 lower. Your upside really at this point, if you're buying it at this level, even though it's already fallen a couple bucks, almost 10% from that 30 we were talking about, if you're buying it, you're probably still buying it because you think there might be a higher bid again by Paramount. They just come back over the top or something. If they don't, then this could easily slide under 27 bucks if you look at any kind of a reasonable fair value. Right? You can put, the easy way is you can always put into like ChatGPT and just say, okay, well, if the deal closes X time, assume X interest rate, and you can find your own fair value. But right now, it's trading pretty much at the actual deal price, which is still too high in my opinion. Let's go to Sia at the desk.
Hey guys, so the U.S. inflation data came in lighter than expected, boosting certain expectations from Federal Reserve rate cuts, slightly weakening the USD against majors like the JPY, UR. Markets, however, are now priced higher at odds of Fed's easing in December. Let's also take a look at the Bank of England. After facing 5 months of depreciation due to rising unemployment, soft business activity, weak growth, the British pound is stabilizing ahead of the BOE meeting, which happened today. Traders did predict an 88% chance of a rate cut, which did fall true. The BOE did cut rates from 4% to 3.75 earlier today. Also, the ECB interest rate decision came out earlier this morning at 2.15%. Didn't really affect market too much. And that's all for right now. Back to the guys.
Thank you, Sia. They have that Fed rate. I thought that was going to move the Fed Watch tool. We were literally at 73.4 this morning. We're still at 73.4. Sometimes I feel like it's like, let me just refresh it one more time. What are the odds that it hasn't moved? We got CPI this morning and it hasn't moved a single percentage, not even like 0.1. We're still at exactly 73.4% of no rate cut, and then better than a quarter chance that we get a cut after that light CPI print. The big thing happening, and thank you everyone that reminds us, Bank of Japan has a rate decision tonight. That is probably the biggest mover overnight. Relative to earnings, I feel like that's going to be a bigger deal. And then, of course, witching will be a big deal as well. Speaking of which, got to show you guys the early look right now. Again, Chipotle, that's 2 days in a row. I believe, you know what? It was Chipotle, was it Chipotle and Oracle yesterday? 3.4 million and 1.8 million. You know what? I'm not 100. It was around 3 and it was around 1.8 million on both those two names. So both buy and balances on Chipotle and Oracle. Kenvue seems to always be there, so we'll ignore that for a bit. SOXL is a sell imbalance if you're paying attention there. Those are the big ones. CMG, I don't think let's just double check what CMG did yesterday. The big movers at the end of the day yesterday, like Apple, a couple of big cap tech names took some tumbles. So Chipotle was falling going into the imbalances, and then in the last 10 minutes, dropped again. So on a buy imbalance, I think if I'm based on what I saw yesterday, I think you'd be looking to play the fade. Like let it come out, let it flip, and play the flip because it sold off despite a buy imbalance yesterday. So playing by that, I would wait and see on Chipotle. But that's a big imbalance for sure. Let's go back to the desk, Adara.
We do have comments coming from Fed's Austin Goolsbee. Now, why this is significant beyond the fact that it's Fed speak is because Fed's Goolsbee, along with Fed Schmidt, actually dissented at the most recent Fed meeting last Wednesday. We had that rate cut. Goolsbee and Schmidt both voted to keep rates in check. So what Goolsbee said here, or what he's been saying here, because he is still speaking, is that if clarity arrives and inflation is waning, then that's the point when rates can come down. He's not comfortable with front loading, quote unquote, any of these rate cuts. And he also says that most of these job market pressures have, most of the measures here of the job market has shown pretty steady cooling. A lot of these feds are worried that the job market is cooling too much. Feds Goolsbee basically arguing with that notion a bit here, saying it's cooling, quote, mildly and steadily. Though he did mention that the latest inflation data was favorable. So last but not least, we once again have comments coming here from Goolsbee, basically suggesting that, sure, we do have some concerns here at the job market, but the inflation concerns are larger. We don't need to speed up these rate cuts too much. Also, apparently, there is a new executive order from U.S. President Trump closing federal government offices on December 24th and 26th. So interesting look there. If I get more updates, I'll let you know. Not likely market related in terms of any market closures, but interesting stuff. Back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess federal office is getting a little
Yeah, why not?
holiday there on the 24th. I didn't know they were still open. Of course, the market will be open half day, right, on the 24th?
Yeah,
so,
on the 24th. I think we have some plans for the 24th. At least I hope we're going to go through with maybe doing the 2026 picks. Instead of doing it, because last year we only ended up doing the picks for the year because we had that Jimmy Carter day and we're all at home. It's like, well, what can we do? Because we're not going to be trading on the show and we're not going to be able to follow the market in the same way. So we ended up having a discussion on like our picks. But it makes more sense to do that kind of a thing before the start of the year. We just randomly did it on like the 19th of January, which is what it is. So yeah, come Wednesday?
Whatever day the 24th is.
Whatever the 24th.
Yeah, the one thing.
Half day. I know, but Brendan's not here, but I think everyone else is here.
Yeah, I don't know. We can do it on that day or whatever day anybody wants. And if you are using charting to make your picks, you may want to consider using eSignal. And for today and today only, or any day you scan that QR code, you will be able to get free 1 month of service from eSignal. So make sure you go check that out. They do connect to over 50 plus brokers, including whatever broker you guys use. They have world-class customizable charts, as well as amazing scanners. That was sort of what I just showed you there on my watch list, my self-curated watch list. It is really a basic charting program with many advanced features. Pretty simple to use. Get in there, obviously sharing on social is another thing. But to me, it's the 500 plus symbols that you can run at any given time. Their software is definitely, there's some of the screeners that they have. If you just look at the top left there, there's different variables inputting into the market screener. So here we go right there. So if you just average volume, MACDs, whatever, names that are hitting your levels, find them first with eSignal. That's exactly how we screen most of the stuff that we see right here, right now. Wish we had a few more diamond hands. We do have our reservation in for the new Rivian R2. So wife already knows, so early present there, but who knows when that's going to finally come through. Thank you, eSignal, to all of that. All right, let's get rid of that now. There it is right there. I just want to show Rivian because Rivian right now is gone. We are up on this stock pretty nicely today, obviously. It's the only stock that I've looked at as far as putting in some money into this name. And yeah, there it goes, man. The new Rivian Lambo model coming to a place near you, a garage near you. I think Marissa likes white and black, so I think we'll probably go with one of those. It makes it real simple.
Really simple.
One of those.
Will you put the matte on that bad boy?
Matte black? No, I don't think so. No? I don't know. I've got the satin gray on the Model 3.
Yeah, I actually like that better than the black.
Yeah, with the completely black tinted windows and black rims and everything like that. So, but no, the thing is that if you see. Someone tweeted at me here. I put this out, and they said, "Oh man, no more Rivian." I'll find it later. They said, "No more Tesla." I thought you liked Tesla. No, I like both of them, man. We can go dual EV mandate in the house. Yeah. So, but 484. I did put a buy down here for Tesla in case it came back in because when we were talking about it at 2 o'clock. When we did Tesla on the rundown, I was like, well, if we get back to VWAP, I think that should be a buy. And it came back there and just didn't have any orders out. We've been having a good time here this afternoon, and I just didn't put that order out, and we should have done that. The market did sort of do exactly again. Like I said, the market's going to want to see these lows. They did see those lows. We should have been sitting there as well. So it's not as aggressive in the afternoon. We might have to change that up. Because we made some great calls recently in the afternoons, and maybe we'll change it up. Maybe just lower share size in the afternoon. All right. I want to tell you that like this is the part of the afternoon trade here, and I think SMR is a good example where it's just not moving that much. You get very violent reactions early, right? And you try to catch a trend. It didn't really give you one. I mean, it went to the upside, then fell back in. Oklo also looking similarly to this. And now it's kind of just barcoding here into the close. Not really at any breaking spots or any key levels for me to trade SMR. So those of you asking about that one. And then I saw Uber. I was like, oh, maybe we could trade Uber because it's near $80. Well, I mean, again, the same type of thing there. You could trade a breakout here of 80. This is why I wanted to call this up. But it only went 10 cents. So you really got to, like, by the time you get through 80, you pay the fees to buy the break. And then it completely stops, and you probably don't get it out at 10s. And if you do, that's fine, but 10 cents. And then it falls back in now to 80 again. So unless Uber gets into 79.70 or something, we only have 8 minutes left until those imbalances, and the imbalances look half decent today. So maybe we get a little bit of a reaction play on the futures or something. But as far as individual stocks, you always want to look at names that have been moving around. So Micron today, I was, just the lows would have been something there at 250. Other than that, we did make a call on this top. It looks like it worked out. We said 264. We actually zoomed in and saw that it was the past all-time high right there at 264. I said we could probably see that here today. We did see it, and then we faded out. And we do know that there's a lot of traders in our chat that did make bank on Micron. So congratulations to anybody that made money off that trade. I mean, gave it to you. I didn't take it personally, but that was a good one. And congratulations to anybody that does hit the buy key. I mean, we're just talking heads here, man. You guys are the ones hitting the keys. Amazon, a little early on the bump up for Amazon. Would have liked to see it go a little bit more to the south side before we bought it or added to it in my long-term account. It does come close to its 200 period moving average, and maybe I'll have to zoom back out a little bit more to show you. Or even more, yeah, okay, there it is. Just how good that 200 period moving average has been since last year. So forget about that gap. There's nothing you can do about that. But that gap fill goes, and then we hold, and then we hold, and then we hold. So if stock trading is nothing more than guessing, I'll guess that this will hold the 200 period again, or at least give me reason to buy. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Like this could happen, the tariff move down. And then when you sense that there's something going on, you can bail from any of these trades. It's just like I want to hold Amazon for a very long time. I mean, we're getting at least probably two packages a day probably at my house at least for Amazon. Week's
different. I mean,
so
going to Christmas gotta be different.
it must be different going into Christmas. But I don't think we're buying that much stuff off Amazon for Christmas, but just on the generic stuff, like getting a lot. We actually ordered, we got a delivery from Costco the other day as well. So there's lots of stuff happening.
All
but
the stocking
Amazon is
100% of the stocking stuffers in our household come from Amazon. 100%. And then stocking stuffers for...
Because I can't order anything off Amazon because we share accounts, so it's wife sees everything.
Oh yeah, we can't do each other's stuff. But like when I'm stocking stuffers, like we don't. It's mostly for Aaron and then like your nieces and nephews.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I try to make sure like the kids get their gift. Like I'm talking about my nieces and nephews. They get the gift, and then it's like something in the stockings. Whatever. It's just a.
We got our nieces and nephews gift certificates and passes to the aquarium.
Yes.
So that should be fun for them. Yeah, they're just little. Yeah, they're little.
It's a load of fun.
Yep, it sure is.
So we have 7 minutes to go to the imbalances. There was something else we're going to get to. Oh, yeah, I know what it was. Yeah, remember Chipotle, that imbalance? Bye-bye. So it was 3.6 million to buy. It's now only 1 million to the buy side. So I was really thinking, based on what happened yesterday, that you'd fade it. But if it doesn't come out as a large imbalance... Thank you, Ramin. If it doesn't come out as a large imbalance,
look at this.
Then I don't even bother fading it.
So she cuts the Snickers into like 4s or 5s or something like that.
Ramin hooked us up.
Thank you so much, Ramin.
Sometimes you just need a Snickers.
Is this, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Snickers bar. All right, so.
That was really frozen. Okay.
By the way, oh yeah, actually I like the frozen. You see, it's got a little, you see there's some nuts in there. You're nuts. But Rivian, it keeps on going. The only nuts thing that I've been doing today was selling Rivian. What am I, nuts? There goes Rivian all the way up to $20.20, man. We'll pay for our reservation today on Rivian. We'll pay for a little bit of a payment in our long-term account, and we got Rivian. So we're really happy with the way this stock has been trading. And yeah, man, I mean, that's why I said it to my wife. The minute I found out that, again, we talked about this. This is a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago or so. Lululemon. The minute I found out that, you know, Starbucks charges what they do for all these crazy drinks, we bought Starbucks stock. Target was the same thing. As soon as Target came into Canada, you know, we bought some Target shares. And yeah, Rivian right now, hopefully being able to pay for the first fill up right there. And we're pretty lucky here. We have charging downstairs in the basement. So. And that's why I know Randy's looking at it. Randy has quite the drive in every single day.
He makes the most sense. If I was in Randy's boat, I would.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't paid for gas since May, so it's been pretty good.
Randy drives in from far. Like,
yes, he does.
He drives a couple hours.
Thank you, Ramin.
I'm not talking about both ways. I'm talking about like one way. Like it's an hour and a half. I think if it's fast in like 2 hours, that's both directions, and he could charge. For
yeah. He drives 3 hours a day.
That's if it's. If it's good, it's 3 hours a day. Like sometimes it might be a little bit longer than that. So again, like 4 minutes to go. Yeah, sometimes gas is cheap right now. Some people say, well, it depends on your perspective. Sure, it's cheap to what it was before, but you know, I remember when I started driving, and I don't think anyone's going to be happy about gas prices right now. You're certainly not going to be happy about Bitcoin prices. We're still battling, but losing 85K over and over again. This is just washing back and forth. So in the time, for the last almost hour, Bitcoin has gone back and forth probably 20 times off of 85K. So we're at 85 right now. This is IBIT. Look at how many times we're just going back and forth. So there's a rather annoyingly boring dance that's going on with IBIT here and Bitcoin, unfortunately. But it still looks to me like it's going to be overall bearish. I'm standing on the bearish side of this thing.
My Snickers had poison in it, of course.
It was delicious. I'm a big Snickers over
We are now.
Mars.
Someone told me to ring on my throat. Ring the register on the Dollar Club. Now $2 on Rivian. As I just keep taking another sip of this, man. Oh yeah, there it is. I mean, we posted up Rivian as soon as we took this trade, man. We posted this trade. Yo, what are you doing, my guy over there? How's it going?
When did Joe get back? What do you mean? It's actually nice in here.
Yo, man, I think Joe's been sitting there for 2 hours, my guy.
This is
yeah, so Rivian just posted at 8 o'clock, talked about it. Number one trade on the note. I'm just being more disciplined. That's it, man. I'm not going to be chasing names, just going to be sitting there, more disciplined. I'm trying to make the best trades and trying to hit them with more shares. That's it. So that's going to be my New Year's resolution. And that's always what I'm trying to do anyways, but just be very specific on what we're looking for. And we did it today. So we'll go back into that. Yesterday we chased down Google. We chased down Tesla. We had a good short on Tesla at the end of the day. We tried the Qs. And then we had, of course, Medline. We can check that out right now. MDLM.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Medline's still the number one stock of the month on the show. So, and it's December 18th, and it traded for 1 day. And there it goes, man, nice move. And then today it's up, right? I mean, even though it shows down, you know, if you got it off the open there, did have a nice little dip buy opportunity at 38 bucks. I don't really know, you know, any key levels yet. We'll have to give this a couple weeks before you really determine what's going on with it. But yeah, really helped out VWAP early, which was real nice there, and 41.50. So that was basically the highs from yesterday. Was met today. So if anything, we are seeing a possible short area right there for Medline. So $41.80, $42. For everybody watching here, that is part of our great team, especially in the back there, you know, Dimitri and everybody else that's working there in the back. They are going to be working.
Everybody's in today.
Yeah, they're going to be working from home starting tomorrow. So shout out to all of our great help that we have in the back. Thank you so much for everything. If you guys are watching, and if you are watching, get back to work.
Making sure that we get every single, like whenever we get a new gateway up or anything kind of the change, with the fantastic new symbols, like we'd be able to trade IPOs or maybe new SPACs as well. Like Medline, imagine that was in the database yesterday, we would not be happy whatsoever. But I think Medline might be, the volume's pretty much done. I don't know if it's going to be a trade tomorrow. There might be one more day you can eke it out, but the volume is you can't even see the bars relative to yesterday. That's how thinly traded it is. It's 13 million, which is good, so it's going to give you some juice, but it was a one and done for me, and I might not even look to trade this one tomorrow. But it's the kind of trade where, like that was a day maker yesterday. Like I said, it was the only reason I was green yesterday, and today it's just like kind of another stock. It was just another stock. And going forward, I would take this 10 times out of 10 over, what was that, FJET? What's the other IPO today?
It was just FJET. Is there another one? 10 seconds until the imbalances.
And bounce about to come up. But yeah, FJET may be up 120%, but one price action's way better than the other. All right, Nvidia is a buy. 2 million shares to the buy side of Nvidia. That's pretty much it. FCX will be a 1.5 million. Buru's a penny stock, so who cares about that? So is GPUS, also a penny stock. Broadcom's a buy of 1 million. Apple's a buy of 1 million shares as well. Lyft is 1 million to the sell side. Laser 1 million to the sell side. NCLH 1 million to the sell side. And Beyond Meat, you're going to have to do better than 1 million to buy to get that stock off the schneid. Back to $1 on Beyond Meat.
All right, I'm going to cancel all my trades here heading into the close. I mean, I was going to potentially buy that Tesla dip. We're just on recover from the Snickerballers. That was a good one, though. Thank you, Ramin. That really hit the spot there, but despite trying to kill me. All right, what's going on, Sia?
Quick crypto update, guys. It's down today with the market cap having decreased by 1.5%, now standing at around 3 trillion. Total crypto trading volume stands at $129 billion. ETH has neared around 3K after cool CPI print, currently down 1.5%. As of yesterday, ETH has plunged to $2,800, triggering 165 million in liquidations. 13% weekly decline, and ETH came with strong outflows and exchange traded funds. Overall, ETH has underperformed the broader crypto market by 6% in the past week. Moving on to Solana, SOL down 4.4% today. Demand hike is expected to be seen from SOL, with ETFs projected to buy over 100% of the new supply. This will total 23 million coins, which will be worth around 3.2 billion by 2026. XRP as well is down 2.8% as of right now. It's dropped nearly 50% from its peak of $3.66, now trading below $2. CEO of Factor LLC, Peter Brandt, warns that the failure in holding $2 could result in further declines closer to $1.07. And that's all for crypto. Thank you so much. Back to the guys.
Thank you so much, Sia. Yes, Solana, like everything else, and some of these names not been looking very good. It doesn't matter what chart you pull up. Yikes. That is not good at all. Yuckity yucky yuck, Solana. But hey, it's holding the low at 117.5, so there's at least that. It hasn't broken through that bottom. And Bitcoin is doing sort of a similar thing, at 85, like back and forth and back and forth. We're back above 85, by the way. On Bitcoin. It's just doing this ridiculous dance, unfortunately. Those imbalances, nothing's paired off yet, but Intel kind of showed up out of nowhere. That was not 1.9 million or 1.8 million shares to the buy side when it came out, but this is the amount of the spike that you got in Intel when it flipped to a buy. So it's going to end up being a nothing burger, not really moving the stock. Almost got to, didn't quite get up to where I would have wanted to short it again, but not a good day for them either. Apple still maybe a little bit bigger. Both Apple and Nvidia just popped higher. Nvidia is now almost 3 million to the buy side, and Apple's over 2 million. So both those names kind of leading the way. The Nasdaq overall was about 1.1 billion shares, and you have some buy amounts is led by Apple and Nvidia. What's Apple doing? Clean off VWAP. I like the chart of Apple today. I know it's only up 0.3%, but the other thing going on, see how it had all those dip buys? Look at what it looks like on the daily chart. Yeah, there's a nice bounce. Liquidity grab underneath the 50-period moving average. So let's try to break the 50. Nope. Rejection, bottoming tail candle. That makes me bullish on Apple. Well, I was kind of bullish on it today anyways, but it makes me bullish on Apple tomorrow. Nice 50-period bounce. It's the first time we crossed the 50 period since going all the way back to August the 6th was the last time we were underneath the 50 period, and it rejected it today. It's going to close easily above it. So that looks great. Like you wick that, hold a 50, get back to the highs. Makes sense to me.
So go over, find my Instagram, Trader TV Sean. Go find at Trader TV as well. Some funny things on here. Randy doing funny things like this. Us talking more and more. Me wearing Dollar Tree over there, or hedge fund. Here's my kids and everything like that. But forget about all that noise. Ramin made an awesome thing here, and I want everyone to go find this for themselves. All right, we could play it for you, but it's a lot of fun, man. It's yesterday's Medline IPO. So go find that. I'm playing it, but you can't hear it. So go find it at Trader TV Live, at Trader TV Sean, the 2 Instagram accounts that you need to follow here. Go get that immediately and hit the like button. It was a lot of fun yesterday. Big shout out to Ramin, big shout out to Sharif and Joe, everybody trading that IPO, all of us there yesterday. So yeah, get going over there. Go find it on Instagram. Here, I'll put the, or YouTube short. What do you prefer, Ramin, Instagram or YouTube short, or does it matter? Here's the link in the chat. There it is, whatever. I put it up. So there's a link in the chat. Go check it out. It is on YouTube right there. Oh, Ramin's not even here. I do her a favor, and she's gone. Okay. Shout out to Ramin on that one. Good look there. Thanks, Ramin, for that. But there it is. Go find that. It's really funny. It's some good audio on that as well. So it's going to be on my. If you're following me, it's on the stories. So go have a quick little look on that one. CGC, man, it was not the day for the puff and the passing there today. So we'll go like that. And then no matter what you do, make sure you do it safely. But CGC today, this reminds me of the good old days when every day it was down 12%. And there it is now again, down another 12% there today as it just keeps on getting rocked. CGC left and right as YCBD actually got going as well and then faded out. There's TLRY down 5% today as well. And then YCBD is over there on the Amex. So that was up when everyone thought it was CBD, and Adara announced that to us that there was some concern there. And then I think now it's going to be in the new year. So there is some news there about the cannabis space. We'll find that out.
They always eventually rug it. That's the thing. It's just a matter of how long until the next rug for the cannabis space. You ride it while you can, and then eventually it goes up in smoke, and then that's the end of it. All
right, man. Sean, I mean, there's been a lot of these comments, and I want to thank you guys all today. I mean, you know, this is why we're doing this. This is why we put these notes out. That's why we're here trading for you. That's why we're showing you our ins and our outs, and that's why we're talking about the trades that we really like. All right, I made one trade today, Rivian. Put that thing back up right there. So there it is right there. Today's trade of the day, not that one, the other one. I didn't even read it. It was $10 right there. We'll find that other super chat in a minute. There it is right there. So we're looking at HTF on a chart. Where do you see this going into Santa Claus? Jimmy G, he's next week. Is that Jim Cramer? Into Santa's Jimmy's. Okay. Next week, I don't know what that means. Now that we have a daily close above 20, seems you could get here. Okay, so you want to talk about HTF? I don't even know, what is that stock? HTF. No, I don't see it. You're going to have to let me know. Oh, you're talking about...
It's about Rivian. I don't understand what it means, but it's about Rivian. Put it back up.
Live, Sean, live, or live, Sean. Yeah, you're welcome.
Put the other one back up.
Unless he's talking about looking at HTF on chart. Highs from the top? I don't know. I don't know.
I just don't know what HTF means.
Oh, higher time frame. Dun, 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 dun. Second smartest guy in the room, Brendan. Okay, so yeah. Hello. Here's the higher time frame on Rivian. So good call there. Thank you so much, Ryan, there in NOLA, New Orleans. Yeah. So look, now that we've taken off on Rivian, I really do think that we could get into this 23-24 area here. I mean, today's move is 15% on an upgrade. So more upgrades coming, man. I feel like, you know, I won't be here tomorrow, but join us tomorrow, where I think Rivian, again, wow. It's because I had a little bit of a sore throat, but not enough of one, and that's why I got a little bit more water. I like Rivian up here. They came with their report. They've already told us all the truth, right? Is that they're not making money on any cars, but it's the autonomy aspect that they gave. They gave a nice, Rivian. They gave a nice call on that. They had their AI day, and I think that's really boosting everything here for Rivian. So I got to get out. I only have a little bit left on Rivian, so I'll offer it there. Now we are out on Rivian. They're at 25, so that ends the day right there. $2 on Rivian. Thanks for the super chat. I like the stock. I mean, to say you want to buy it now, it's up 15%. I'd let it cool off a little bit. But yeah, man, look at this 50-period moving average right there all day on this. So it's been a good one there. 50-period moving average on a 5-minute chart. Thanks for the super chat. 30 seconds left.
Yeah, only 30 seconds to go. I would pull up a weekly chart if you can. If you're saying higher time frame, when a stock's breaking out, go to higher time frame. I'm assuming that's what you meant, because you have room to like 27, 25, then 27 and a half. 27 and a half is a bigger level on the weekly chart. As we only have under 10 seconds to go, we got FedEx after the bell. Nike's also going to be after the bell. You've got the Jet. You've got Japan with an interest rate decision overnight, and we got witching tomorrow. So a lot to work into. In 2 and 1, we ring it. But we do expect, if you think it's a busy day today, there is a lot going on tomorrow. Triple witching, index rebalancing, Carvana going into the S&P, some other stuff going in that probably other people care about, but most people probably care about Carvana. And of course, the death of crypto. We closed under 85,000, by the way, so it still looks pretty bullish. ETH, same thing as well. So it does shape up to be a pretty big end to the week. Should be a lot of volume, should be a lot of volatility.
Tomorrow will be the last day you get a chance to sell your Carvana shares, okay? Don't look at me in a month when Carvana's down $100, okay? So watch out, Carvana down. Tomorrow's your last day. I won't be here, but I'll try to be in the chat. All right, decent show today. Thank you so much, everybody. Ramin, thank you so much. Fabian, thank you so much. Andre, hope you're having a great time on your vacay. Mini-me over there. Joe, thank you so much. You guys are killing it on the midday. We really appreciate all your options analysis there. Sharif, the guy's gone, but thanks for all the fun and excitement that Sharif has right now. Yeah, he's digesting right now, or he's doing something with his legs. Big shout out there to Adara. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing for us, obviously, on a daily basis. Still looking into things. So never stopping. And thank you to Sia as well.
Crushing it, Sia.
Sia said Sia a minute ago. So Sia. And thank you to Obi for filling in for me tomorrow. All right, man, that's Neil. I'm Sean. It's been an absolutely banger of a day. 1 for 1 today, and I like it. And I'll see you guys on Monday. We're back tomorrow at 8 a.m. So be well, be safe, and what? Go Rams or go Seahawks? What do you think?
Oh, I could care less who wins the game.
All right.
I just badly need one running back to score.
Let's see you guys. I like that right at the end, the Stone Cold.